taking a bit of a twisted turn now with Invisible Monsters by Chuck Palahniuk. Los Angeles, California, an infamous city known for its incredibly beautiful and incredibly shallow people. Shannon McFarlane is one of these people, a supermodel engaged to Manus, a beautiful and very rich man. She finds herself the target of a freak accident where, while sitting in LA traffic, her lower jaw is completely blown off her face by a stray bullet. Almost overnight, Shannon loses both her career and, after looking at her face, her engagement to Manus. Horribly disfigured, Shannon relies on a collection of heavy veils to hide the gaping hole of her face. At her lowest point, she seeks career counseling, for up to this point she's only known how to be a supermodel. She runs into the attractive and vivacious Miss Brandy Alexander, a transsexual who is only one step away from becoming a woman. Brandy instantly latches onto the pain and sorrow that Shannon exudes. She consoles Shannon in her own special way, helping her figure out what direction she wants to take her life now that she's been given a fresh start. They embark on a demented quest, driving up and down the coast of California, searching for their dreams, and raiding for-sale mansions for the stashes of prescription drugs left behind by rich old ladies. As Shannon inspects her life, as one is wont to do at times like these, she begins to see that nothing is as it seems. Maybe her accident was no accident at all. Her pain and sorrow slowly turn to hatred and malice. Could she have been so easily deceived by those who were supposedly so close to her? Can Shannon, with the expert advice of Brandy, get the revenge she wants? Invisible Monsters by Chuck Palahniuk. About something a bit more lighthearted now. Jemima J. by Jane Green. When we meet Jemima, she's nearly 100 pounds overweight and feeling trapped in her life. Jemima Jones is a staffer at the Kilbourne Herald, a small London newspaper. Jemima eats her way through her frustrations while her flatmates treat her like a maid. Her longing for the handsome Ben Williams, star reporter for the Herald, is of course unrequited. She's passed over for better assignments in favor of her more beautiful and more slender co-worker, Geraldine, whose condensate knows no bounds. Then her office goes online. After taking a class on the internet, Jemima logs into a chat room and meets a Californian named Brad. Everything begins to change. With the aid of Geraldine, whose attitude towards Jemima has taken a complete 180, she invents a new personality for herself. Gone is the dumpy writer of the household hints column. Online, she's JJ, a slim, hip, glamorous woman. When Brad presses her to visit, Jemima decides to bring the change out of the virtual world and into the real one. With Ben moving on to a television spot and Geraldine as her sole supporter, Jemima is able to focus even more on becoming fit and gorgeous. With sheer determination and strict dieting and rigorous exercise, the pounds melt away. Soon she's on a plane to Santa Monica, ready to meet Brad, who ends up being just as hunky as his photograph suggested. To Jemima, he is the perfect man for her new perfect life. Doubts about Brad begin to crop up, and it's not long before Jemima sees that even the most perfect people have their shameful secrets. Jemima must learn the hard lesson that it isn't all about outer beauty, but inner beauty and love for one's whole self that's what truly matters. Jemima J. by Jane Green. And finally tonight, The Air Affair by Jasper Ford. The year 1985. The place, London. Thursday next, an operative for Britain's Spec Ops 7 division is hot on the trail of the missing original manuscripts of Charles Dickens's Martin Chuzzlewit. Wait, what's the big deal about Martin Chuzzlewit? I'll tell you. The London in which Thursday next lives is not your ordinary London. This London exists in a world where time travel is routine, cloning is an at-home hobby, and all literature is taken very, very seriously. And this still isn't your ordinary literary heist. The supposed culprit is Thursday Night's old college lecturer, Acheron Hades, a devilish man who currently sits at number 3 on Britain's most wanted list with the sole ambition of becoming number 1. His motive? Unclear, but you can bet it is something bad enough that'll get him that number 1 spot. Being the most badass Spec Ops 7 operative around, Next finally tracks down Hades, only to have him and the manuscript slip through her fingers. He disappears without a trace. With no leads to Hades' whereabouts or plans, Next heads to Swindon, her hometown, and takes a position with Spec Ops 27, Literatech. Literatech's focus is literary crime, heists, forgeries, fraud, fake Miltons and Shakespeares, those kinds of things. Thinking it might be best to start with the manuscript, Next continues her search for any Chuzzlewit-related abnormalities. Right under her nose, Hades strikes. This time, he hits close to home. Next's uncle, Mycroft. The motive? Why, Mycroft's prose portal, of course. This new invention creates a portal which allows the user to pass into books. You can experience firsthand the story, interact with the characters, feel the scenery of any piece of literature. But the prose portal also gives the user unimaginable power. Think of it as the butterfly effect, but in a book. Change one minuscule piece of the story and alter it forever. In the wrong hands, this could be detrimental to all of our favorite stories. And Hades' hands are the worst. Having little success with getting anyone's attention with silly Martin Chuzzlewit, Hades sets his sights on something bigger. Tracking Hades from Swindon to the People's Republic of Wales, Next carries with her only one clue: Penderin. Why did that sound so familiar? Where had she heard that name before? Wait, no, it couldn't be. Could Hades really be that sick? Oh, well, he is. Hades' next target? Jane Eyre. Thursday Next and her team at Literatech must get to the bottom of this before Hades does the unthinkable to the world's most beloved Gothic novel. It's a race to the very last page of The Eyre Affair by Jasper Fforde. That's double F-O-R-D-E. Thank you very much for your time. I hope you enjoyed my presentation.